I just want to share initially when this came to council, it was primarily to see if we could change behaviors. And based on the data that you shared today, I'm not sure that that was achieved. I have a couple questions. So it was mentioned that there's a penalty if we decide to break our contract. Do we know what that would be?
There is a fee for that. It's six figures, but we wanted to talk more about that at a future date. We are 2 years into a 5-year contract.
Those of us remember our budget constraints going forward, but in 27, our revenues and our expenses are going to come flat. So I know, Judge Jennings, I appreciate our spirit in the courts is not to make money, and it should never be. However, it looks like you made some money.
Van Buren was mentioned right now that it was one of the most busiest, and I was told early on that it's because of the speed limit should probably be changed from what it is and to something higher because of the amount of lanes that it holds, and that would change the amount of people that would have got citations.
I did receive some preliminary information on Van Buren just a couple of hours ago. It does appear that the 85th percentile is probably going to come in around 45 miles per hour, but I just don't have the final results yet.
Personally, I think it's unconstitutional to hold these cameras in the city of Avondale, and I hope that the council gets rid of this sooner than later. I don't know how much it's going to cost to terminate this contract.
The biggest goal that really does reduce speeds, in my experience, and we can talk to Kim and others, but are things that are engineered. So making one of the issues Councilmember Garcia brought up was Van Buren is now 5 lanes. When that speed limit was originally set, it was 3 lanes. And as we've expanded Van Buren, it's gotten bigger. Big, wide, open streets make people feel like it's safer to drive faster. There's been requests for additional stoplights. I think at 111th there's been an ask. Possible roundabouts, more built-out medians with trees that make the area seem more confined. So there are many things that I think this study will result in us moving forward with projects.
$183,000 surplus. And the comment was that's revenue and revenue being generated altogether in a time where our revenues are getting close to outpacing our expenses, or outpacing our expenses. So that's something to keep in mind. But on the flip side, in speaking with voters and community residents, a lot of it had to do with civil liberties, or what would be considered unconstitutional, as mentioned by Councilmember Garcia, of is this invasive? Government being invasive here. So you have two sides of the coin, and really what I look at is a pros and cons list, which I created here, which is on the pro side, and forgive me for the time, but reduction in speed, fiscal sustainability, visual deterrence, short-term accident reduction, and community concerns, and the addressing of those. Some of the cons, no change in speed, at least sustainability of that. Long-term accident trends are not improving as detailed on the slide. It's labor intensive, and as Judge Jennings mentioned and made the comment, which I really enjoyed, is the court can handle what comes their way. But it is labor intensive, and even our members of public safety can attest to that, and ultimately leads to very mixed results. All that being said, I know that now with the announcement of the study and the grant funding to eliminate it during that period of time, I don't know if that's speaking out of both sides of my mouth, or if we have not given it a substantial amount of time to test. 16 months is not a long time through 5 years. And if I'm looking at fiscal responsibility, I'm also looking at the costs, what it would cost, because we don't know yet what the penalty fees will be that we'll incur, as opposed to what we will have to pay and make in terms of revenue over the next couple of years.
And then what we can do is, I would say no later than November, come back to council with the contract, with the out clause and the costs and those kinds of options, so that council, I think, will have more information at that time to help make a decision. The reason I want to do it sooner rather than later is we have 2 vacancies that we've held. If we're going to continue the program till the end of the study, because the study is at least a year, so it'll be a long time. So I need to get those positions filled and get those departments the help that they need to be successful. So I don't want to push this off discussion too long. If the decision in November is to wait till the end of the study, that's fine. We'll hire the personnel and we'll move forward as council directs.